Well, this is it. This is the last page of a very long chapter. Okay, bye guys. Bye, Francine. Goodbye.
Bye.
I'll see you in a couple days.
Okay.
I've only ever had one mission in life, and that mission has been to simply realize the promises I made to myself when I was a kid. When you're a kid, you're always telling yourself, when I'm an adult, I'm gonna do this. When I don't have to listen to my parents, I'm gonna do that. Someday, I'm gonna grow up and do...
I wanna be an astronaut.
See, those goals, those ambitions, my very first dreams in life were to simply get away from the people who told me I couldn't. Some of my high school teachers, my parents, friends, some of the people who were supposed to be guiding me in life, the people who made a kid feel small because he was different. That was the world that it felt like I grew up in, and my goal was to get away from that. And the answer to that was simple. The answer was to go to the place where you could be anything you wanted to be, to go to an island where all the misfits in this world go to, and that place was New York City. New York City is a place where you can do anything and be anything, because everyone is too damn busy to worry about what anyone else is doing. It's a place where you're all at once surrounded by thousands of people, but are entirely alone. Left to your devices to do whatever you set out to accomplish. No one lives in New York City. You simply survive in this place. And that weeds out the weak. And that social Darwinism leaves you with 8.5 million other people looking to make their mark. When Frank said, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, he wasn't talking about Paris, Tokyo, or London, and he sure as shit wasn't talking about Los Angeles.
Greatest city in the whole world.
New York. New York. It's 11 in the morning, day 2 of the road trip. I'm just outside of Indiana, still in Ohio, about to cross into Indiana. So Candace wanted to come with me on this trip, and I had a number of friends who I love offer to come with me on this trip, but I wanted to do this drive alone. 3,000 miles, 5 days, alone. I'm never alone. I never get time alone. And when I think about jumping into this next phase of my life, there's not a whole lot of solitude in that either. So this for me seemed like a really good opportunity to be by myself and think about, I don't know, it's a huge change in my life. I need some time to process it. That's what this trip's about. But in realizing that ambition and realizing that dream at age 20, there were consequences. I got this, and I got that at a price. And probably the scariest or the shittiest repercussion of moving to New York City with nothing, no education, no career path, no jobs, no opportunities, the biggest consequence of that was it was tough for this little guy. It was tough for my kid. For all the romantic notions of moving to New York City, all of which were true, it also meant not getting to be the father that I wanted to be. Daddy, how come I don't get to see you as much as I want to see you? Are you gonna pick me up from school this week, or do I have to wait till next week? That was tough. And that struggle gave birth to all new dreams and aspirations. In this part of the story, younger Casey wasn't Casey the little kid, but younger Casey was now, 20-year-old Casey who lived in New York City, which was the coolest, but lived a pretty shitty life in New York City, making $10 an hour and not being able to spend the time with my kid that a good father should be spending with this kid. And out of that came all these new dreams. And these new dreams and aspirations were a little bit less selfish. They were less about me. They were things like wanting to have a house to raise my kid in. That's a big dream. That's a dream for a lot of people. That's a big dream for me. Another one was I never got to go to college. And I had a goal that if my son ever got to go to college, no matter what that school was, that I would figure out how to pay for it for him. Those were my new dreams. Those were the promises that I've been working towards for the last 18 years in New York. Those were the promises that I made to myself when I was younger that I had to realize. And then like 5-6 years ago, I started figuring shit out and I started making money and I started making it. And when he was applying to colleges 3 years ago, his only concern was getting in, not figuring out how to pay for it. So then what's the next generation? What's the next cycle of promises that I made to myself? As Owen got older, it was when Candace and I started getting more serious, and it occurred to me that I might get to be a dad again. And I might get to have a family, a more traditional looking family structure than what I had with Owen. I might get to realize a whole new wave of promises that I made to myself when I was struggling to be the dad that I wanted to be for him when I had kids again in the future.
Mes souvenirs sont flous, je les retiens. Chaque horizon, chaque pluie fine me bouleversait et l'air autour vibrait. C'était hier, j'étais un autre.
What would it mean to be a dad who got to see his kids every single day, 7 days a week? What would it mean to wake up in the same house as my children every day? What would it mean to get to be present? Because even in the last couple years, when you were there, this audience was there, when I was daily vlogging, I was finding success and promises realized that I could have never imagined. But the expense then was I was never present. I was home with my kids every night, but I was thinking about work. I was getting them dressed in the morning, but I was focused on my startup, how my company. And when I was dropping the little ones off at school, I'm thinking about my employees. How am I gonna meet payroll? I wasn't present. And this last cycle of promises had a whole lot more to do with who I am as a person and who I am to other people than it did with material or physical things. If I had to pinpoint the promises that I'm currently working to realize, is to be a person who operates not out of ego, but someone who operates with a priority to connect with and be kind to and love and to be better to the people around me.
Ce que je voulais, c'était tout ce que je voulais.
A painful reality of that ambition is that I cannot realize it in New York City. I can't do it here. You see, no one is in this city because they want to relax. No one is here because they just want to slow down in life. No one is here because they want to focus on family or personal relationships or improving themselves. This city is 9 million people packed on a tiny island, everyone chasing something down, and that something is a career. There is no escaping it. There is no conversation you will ever have in New York City that doesn't end with you talking with another person about your career and your goals and how you're gonna get there. I've been here for 18 years, and that pretty much sums up every human interaction I've ever had in this city. And that is what makes it great, unless you're not on that path. And I want to step off that train. So I'm leaving. I'm out. I'm saying goodbye to the city that I love. And I'm making this video because I'm trying to convince myself. I'm making this video because I am not sure. But if Tarzan never let go of the vine that he was swinging from to grab the next one, he would have never gotten to the other side of the jungle. He just would have sat there swinging back and forth. So my love for what this city is and what it's given me should not preclude me from embracing what's next. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what shutting down this studio, moving to Los Angeles, that's what it is. Do you think we're doing the right thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Are you crying?